Hey, welcome back to Clarity Tarot. Today's reading, I want to do something a little bit different that I haven't done in a while, and it's kind of a relationship check-in, but with you and spirit. So this would be something like, what is spirit's message for you today? But I'm actually going to run it, I think, like a normal relationship check-in reading, which would be, how is this other person or entity, I guess, in this case, showing up in the relationship? How are you showing up? What's the quality of the dynamic between you? And I guess then any advice or anything else that wants to come through. So this, I'm very aware. I just get the sense that like this reading may not be for everyone. So just check in with yourself about whether this is something that resonates for you, this topic. And even if you wouldn't think of yourself as someone that has a relationship with spirit, I think it still could be interesting. But just trust your own intuition and your own discretion with that, okay? So that's what our topic's going to be today. We have 4 piles. And pile 1, I'll be using the New York City Tarot. Pile 2, Ethereal Visions. Pile 3, the Light Seers Tarot. Pile 4, the Gummy Bear Tarot. And I will see you at your reading. All right, hey Pile 1, thanks for being here and coming on this journey with me. I haven't done this reading exactly this way before, so I'm really curious to see what's going to come out. And first, I want to draw some cards for how spirit is seeing themselves in this relationship. And I'm just going to use the word spirit, but I mean, you could resonate with different language, just adjust it as you see fit. Could be God, could be spirit guides, could be, even if you want to think about like your higher self for this reading, I think that also could work. So how does spirit see themselves in this relationship with pile 1? We have the Hanged Man, the Hanged One in this deck, Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. Anything else? Or how you see yourself, spirit? And the 2 of Wands, it's going to come up reversed. Okay, let me back this up a little bit. And next we're going to, this is a little, let me just fix that. Does that want to be fixed? I guess not. Now let's ask about you, the viewer, pile 1. So for pile 1, how are they showing up in this relationship? We have 5 of Swords. Eight of Cups in the reverse. The Emperor. Anything else for how pile 1 is showing up in this relationship? What is the energy they're bringing? We've got a few wanting to come out here. We've got Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, the Hermit, and 2 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. So from Spirit's point of view, and of course this is their point of view, it may not match yours exactly, but they're seeing themselves as waiting for you in a sense. I really get the idea with this Queen of Pentacles, like hanging out on the taxi cab with the hot dog. She's just kind of chilling, like, I know you'll come back around when it's time. I'll be here for you. In the meantime, I'm going to do some yoga. I'm going to do I'm really drawn to like, there's this halo almost around the person that's doing this yoga pose. And so I'm almost getting the sense of like, I'm just going to hang out and do my saintly, godly, spiritual thing, be me. And I do have some dissatisfaction with the 4 of Cups. Like, I wish you were around more. I don't see the abundance in us building together right now, but it's on the board, so I know it's possible. It's just maybe not this moment. So this really feels to me like someone almost pregnant and waiting is the imagery I'm getting, like a fertile field waiting for there to be more seeds planted in. And I'm not getting any negativity or judgment coming through this row. It's just like, I know you're doing your thing. I'll be here when you're ready, is the message I'm getting from up here, from how Spirit's seeing themselves. On the bottom, there's a little bit more conflictual energy. I mean, Two of Cups in reverse to me is very strong. This to me suggests like there's disharmony in the relationship for you. With Five of Swords, there may be something where you've had to like put your foot down. This reminds me of, this is just one possible interpretation of this, perhaps a person who's had negative religious experiences or negative prayer experiences where either their piety is a word that's coming through, their piety, their devotion to Spirit was not honored in some way. Despite this, I want to say this person, I'm not sure why I'm wanting to use that language for you, pile one, but it's like, despite this person can't quite bring themselves to leave and discard of the relationship completely, but they do want to have more power in the relationship, have control, have a sense of what do I want out of this, and a commitment to truth. We have the Hermit here as well, which for me is almost always about a deeper emotional and spiritual journey. So I would say that you are in the stage of, like, I would say dissatisfied with how the relationship is right now, but looking for truth, wanting things to improve. I don't know. I get the sense that like you're not so sure if you want to be closer to Spirit or not. It's still undecided. It's still undecided for you. But the thing that you both have in common, which I think is interesting, with the Two of Cups in reverse and the Four of Cups up here, Eight of Cups in reverse, you both feel a little bit dissatisfied, I would say, if I were to like summarize that. Like neither of your needs are exactly being met in this relationship, if you put it that way. And it's interesting, like I don't even know if it exactly works that way with a spiritual relationship, but maybe it does, in terms of like needs and expectations. So Spirit, can you tell us more about the nature of this dissatisfaction that you share? We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Anything else, Spirit? What is the nature of this dissatisfaction? Anything else? The Knight of Wands in the reverse. So the nature of the dissatisfaction is, it's like whatever came before, however you were interacting with Spirit in the past, I think you're both acknowledging that like that's not going to work for you now. There's a new version of you now. And so there needs to be like a new beginning, a new start, a new understanding of who you are today and what's going to work for you. And the message I'm getting with this card is really coming from the imagery. So if you see Knight of Wands, it's like this building is burning down and it's coming up reversed. So for me, like the nature of the dissatisfaction, it's like the old has burned down, but we don't want to throw all of it out completely. It's like there's still something to rebuild on. And so I think like on the top row here, from Spirit's perspective, the dissatisfaction is like, okay, let's rebuild it already. I'm ready. I'm ready to be totally different with you. Just say the word. And on your side, it seems like you're in more of a deciding phase. You're in a seeking phase. You're sensing into like, what do I actually want here? What works for me? And this also gives me the sense of maybe a person who like tried really hard in the past to be connected spiritually, to do the right things, quote unquote, however that looks for you. And you're aware that you don't want to be in that energy anymore, but you're not sure how else to show up. But again, like you have the Hermit here, so it's like you are doing that. You are figuring it out. It is happening. Okay. So what message would Spirit have for you, either about this dynamic or just in general? We have the Queen of Cups. So to me, this is like, I love you, do your thing. This is always a very empathic, supportive energy for me when it comes out upright. And what I'm really drawn to is that this person looks like a woman to me, like just hanging out in her apartment. She's got some paints that she's using. She's coloring, she's drawing, she has some tarot cards, she has a journal, she has some like nourishing food and snacks here. And you can tell that she is communing with herself. And so I think what Spirit's wanting to say is like, I love you. Do exactly what you're doing. I will be here. When you're ready for something different, like I'm here for you. And I miss you. It's a little bit sad for me, but I understand that this is important for you and you have to do what you have to do. It's a really loving energy that I'm feeling here. Yeah. Okay, I think this is your reading, pile one. Let me know what you thought of this reading, and I'd be very curious to hear. And so you can leave a comment. If you want to like the video, that would be great. If you want to subscribe for more updates or to support the channel, I always appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. I'm really curious to see what's going to come out here. Pile 1 was beautiful. We are looking at your relationship with Spirit as it stands right now. And we're going to look into first like Spirit's perspective on the dynamic between you, your perspective, and then we'll go from there. That might be a little bit different in every pile. In pile 1, I just did a few cards for clarification and then a message from Spirit to you. So that may go the same for you. We may change it up just a little bit, but let's get going here. So your relationship with Spirit, from Spirit's point of view, how do they see themselves in the relationship? We have Death, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Empress in reverse, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, very interesting. And now we're going to ask for you, pile 2, from your perspective, how do you see yourself in this relationship? Actually, we're still asking from Spirit's point of view. So from Spirit's point of view, where do they see you in the relationship? We have the Devil in reverse, the Star, Ten of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Hanged Man in reverse, Five of Wands, and the Moon in reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. It's interesting, pile 2. So the way I would describe this, it's an exaggeration, but for those of you that may have watched a lot of tarot, it might be a helpful metaphor. But I know, like in romantic readings, there's often a lot of talk about like the runner and the chaser dynamic. And there's one person who's like pursuing the relationship and the other who's freaked out and running for one reason or another. And generally speaking, I mean, that's always talked about as kind of an unhealthy dynamic. Like really what's best in any like healed relationship is that both people there's give and take, there's pursuing and receiving. And even if people get triggered, they're able to like stand in it and sit with it. So, but the dynamic I'm seeing here is God as the pursuer. It's interesting I'm using the word God. Spirit as the pursuer. And we have so many major arcana here, I'm noticing, which was not the case in pile 1. So whatever the dynamic is between you and Spirit is a really big deal from Spirit's point of view. They see you as a very important person to them, and not in the sense of like, oh, I have a great purpose for your life, or I want to use you for this, and this project of mine. No, it's not like that. It's I mean, this person just wants to love you, wants to be connected to you, what I'm really getting is like wants to nurture you. But they're very aware that even though you need some nurturing and emotional support at this time, they can't come across in any way that reminds you of your mother, because that will be very painful and triggering to you. So that message may not apply to all of you, but for those of you that it does, I think you'll get what that means for you. I have more to say about this, but I want to switch to your side first here for a moment. How are you showing up in this dynamic? Well, you're showing up unattached, with a need and an awareness that you want healing, that you want change in your spiritual life. You're not exactly sure what that is, what that means, how to get there, but you're very aware that you felt abandoned. I mean, Ten of Swords can often be like betrayal or somebody like actively backstabbing you. The vibe I'm getting from this card is less like active betrayal and more abandonment, more neglect, like emotional neglect, spiritual neglect. Like no one showed me how to be with myself. No one showed me there was something bigger out there. And I'm just now waking up to the emptiness is the word that's coming through, the void that's left in my life, and I don't want to have that anymore. With the Eight of Pentacles, Hangman in reverse, Five of Wands, and the Moon in reverse, I mean, this to me speaks of someone who's done a lot of soul searching, maybe some overthinking even, and knows that it's reminding me of the term diseased introspection, okay, which is, I think, what you're moving away from. And when I say diseased introspection, I just mean, that downward spiral that happens when we think on something so much and lots of negative, we dredge up all this gunk from within our psyche, and then we're just kind of stuck with it. We're like, oh no, what do I do now? I went too deep. So there's something here with that where you're realizing like you don't want to go that deep into your subconscious. You want to, what's that term? Let sleeping dogs lie. It's an interesting phrase. Let sleeping dogs lie and not dig into that. So it's like, this, to me, this is it's kind of a defensive energy. It's like, that there's this emotional, spiritual side of yourself that you want to explore. That in some ways you feel at the beginning of that journey, but that you don't want to do it like this. You don't want to do the deep dive that leads to the downward spiral. You've learned that, that anything that feels like that, you just don't want to go there. So up here, to say more about how Spirit's coming through, to me, this is a very creative energy. It's like, what's going to work for pile 2? Like, I want to support them. I don't want to come on too strong. I mean, it really does feel to me like how some of us might think in a romantic relationship when we're trying to figure out how to get closer to somebody without triggering them or without hurting them. This person, this being, wants to offer you support, solace, communication in this time, reassurance, I'm hearing. And we have the Eight of Wands, so you might resonate with getting a lot of messages from Spirit, however you might think of that. But perhaps they're often confusing, or you're not exactly sure what to make of them. Like, that there's something happening, they're hitting you on some level, but it's like your logical mind doesn't know how to process them, and your spiritual body is new, to say it that way. It's like you're still learning how to interpret how things hit you. And I think Spirit's really aware of this and not wanting to overwhelm you, not wanting to flood you, again, not wanting to come across in any way that feels like your relationship with your mother. And so they're trying to give you space while also let you know, like, hey, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to want you. I'm always going to keep coming for you. Not, that almost sounded sinister the way it came out just there. I'm going to keep coming for you. But no, it's like, in that way, it is kind of like a good family member, someone who's like, I will always, no matter what nonsense you get into, like, I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to be your biggest fan. I think I want to talk about this mother a bit more because it's coming through just like, it's like screaming at me in this top row. But I'm not saying anything about the mother here on your row, which leaves a couple questions in my mind. Number one, I wonder if you connect that to your spirituality at all, is the first question I have. The second question is, how exactly is that functioning down here? I mean, spirit has this awareness, like this is a huge deal and they don't want to create undue pain for you down here, but I don't see it on your radar. So I want to ask about that. And I'm also very aware that spirit doesn't want to trigger you around your mother. So we're not going to go into this too far. Okay. So spirit, what would be important for a pile 2 to know about this mother dynamic to the degree that would be supportive for them today? And I think we're just going to stick with this card because, again, I don't want to go too deep into this. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say what I'm getting, which is you just need to know that your mother is a fool. No shade on your mother. I mean, I'm feeling kind of bad, but it's like, yeah, everyone has their own journey, and you have much more wisdom about relationships, about spirituality than your mother will ever have in this lifetime, or ever did have in her lifetime if she's passed on. And if it's bewildering to you at times, like, how does she not get it? Like, what is the problem here? Am I crazy? Spirit's just wanting to let you know, like, no, you're not crazy. And would the word be, it's unfortunate? That's not the way to say this. There's an acknowledgement here. There's an acknowledgement that the person who trained you, let's say, or who showed you the way to connect to yourself emotionally and spiritually had no skills or awareness with that. So if it feels to you like you didn't get the rule book, or like nobody told you that this was important in life or something, there's nothing wrong with you. That is accurate. That is your background. Is that it, Spirit? Anything else? I really want to make sure I got that right, because yeah, I don't want to trigger you either around this. Queen of Wands. I feel like this is representing you in the reading. And I'm thinking now of the Suit of Wands, fire energy, which to me, you've probably heard me say this a million times if you've watched my channel before, but to me, Wands is spiritual energy. It's like the fresh fire that flows through you. It's inspiration. It's all energies can be spiritual, but to me, this is like the breath of God, to say it that way. And so I think this is coming through as encouragement for you that all that you need to understand, you have within you. I also think of the Queen of Wands. I've heard many people say this too, as one of like the witchier cards in the deck. Someone who's more intuitive, esoteric. And so I think these cards are coming through just as a comparison for you from Spirit of the person of your mother or nurturing figure growing up and the person of you. Okay, I think that's enough on that. Anything else? Let me just see if there's anything else here about the dynamic between the two of you. Yeah, Spirit as the pursuer, as the lover, as the like unconditional positive regard. I want you. I love you. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come for you. I'm gonna keep coming for you. I will not leave you empty and broken and abandoned. I will not neglect you. And you trying to make sense of this whole new world that you've stepped into and building the awareness that that you didn't have much introduction to this in your life, and you know at least one pitfall you want to avoid, which is going down the rabbit hole to that negative introspection. Okay. Spirit, a message that you want to bring through for pile 2 for today in this reading. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Ten of Cups. The World. I'm actually having tears come up right now because, like, as I was pulling these cards, the message I was hearing is like, one of the ways I'm pursuing you is this channel. Like, this is in part like this is for you. It's a little weird for me as the reader because I'm like, what do you mean this is my channel? But the message I'm getting is like, this is for you, pile 2. Like, this is one of the ways that I love you, one of the gifts I want to give you, one of the ways I want to connect with you. It's for you. And then we have the World, Knight of Cups in reverse, and Ten of Cups. Just because you haven't experienced love in the way that Spirit wants to offer this to you, just because you haven't experienced that in the past, just because your nurturing figure didn't teach you or show you or help you experience what you needed to about how to be loved, how to love others, how to be with yourself, just because that's your past, that doesn't predict your future. I mean, yeah, I'm just having so much emotion come up for me with this. And it's not about, you having a partner and a baby. Obviously, like, that's not what this is saying, in case that went through anybody's mind. Although for one of you out there, it might be. But it's more, Ten of Cups is total emotional fulfillment. It's bliss, really, is what it is. And so Spirit's saying, like, you're on the path to that. And that cycle will complete for you in this life. So it's not the kind of thing where, like, oh, you're on the road to love and eventually you'll find it in this life or the next. We'll see what happens. No, this is, you're doing everything that you need to do. I'm so proud of you, I'm hearing. Oof. And you're on your way. Okay, let's end this pile before I cry some more. I'm joking. I really feel like this is everything that wanted to come through. I'll pull one more card in case there's anything I'm missing, Spirit. Spirit's wanting me to come back to the theme of the reading here, the lovers. I mean, look at the vibe of these two. It's just like you're so loved. You're so wanted. Yeah. Anything else, Spirit? I'm trying not to project myself into this reading because, like, this would be triggering to me. I'd be like, give me some space. But but the message is, like, I'm holding on to you. I'm not letting you go. And again, not in the, like, this Spirit wants to give you all the space that you need, okay? Like, they're not again, they're very aware and they're trying not to trigger you in a way that's negative or unhelpful. But I'm never letting you go. This was your reading pile 2. Wow. Let me know what you thought. Would love to hear, like, comment, or subscribe about what you thought about this reading. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hey, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Wow. 2 very different piles so far today. I'm curious to see where we'll go for your reading. And we're doing a relationship check-in between you and Spirit. And so first we're going to check in on, from Spirit's perspective, how do they see themselves in the relationship? How do they see you in the relationship? And then we'll just go from there with any clarification or message that wants to come through, okay? So let's start with Spirit for pile 3. How do you see yourself in this dynamic? I didn't like how those came out in a big fat stack. I'm gonna keep going a little bit. For pile 3, please. Already getting a vibe this is gonna be very different from the others. Spirit, how do you see yourselves in the dynamic? Okay, we have Page of Swords, 3 of Swords in the reverse, 6 of Pentacles in the reverse, 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, 7 of Cups, and King of Swords. And how do you see pile 3 in this dynamic, Spirit? Emperor in the reverse, 5 of Cups in the reverse. Two of Swords. Devil, 5 of Pentacles, and 6 of Wands, and we have 8 of Cups on the back. Okay. So let's start up here from Spirit's point of view. I'm getting a really like patient, kind of like, I'm just going to take a beat, I'm just going to chill energy up here. Actually, I might want to start with you because I think it'll make more sense. So Spirit's perspective on where you are. To me, the center of this whole reading is the 5 of Cups in reverse with the 8 of Cups here. And so what I'm getting with this is you're grieving. There's something that you've lost that was really important to you that in some way, like, you don't want to feel, you don't want to look at. And there's not any like judgment coming through from Spirit about this. It's like they're recognizing it's too much for you right now. You can't feel everything that's in your heart space. All you can do is try to keep putting one foot in front of the other and have some measure of success in your life. And the way you seem to be managing that is to some degree like not feeling anything overwhelming and maybe relying on some like coping mechanisms that like maybe aren't the healthiest for you, but they're getting you through for right now. Like, this to me feels pretty temporary, and temporary can even be like a year or 2 years, like the example that's coming to mind is like if this has happened to you, I'm so sorry, but like if someone's died in your family or someone really close to you, or you've had a really bad breakup, it's like my personal opinion is like for most of us, we can't feel all of that at once. It's like too much. It's too much to let ourselves feel everything that triggers in us. And so many of us in those moments find ways to cope, find ways to only feel that grief a piece at a time. The unfortunate thing is it does end up usually leaving us feeling a bit abandoned emotionally because we're not, let's talk about like the ideal perfect situation in a perfect world, which would be you lose someone really important to you, you're able to let all of your emotion out about that experience and feel held, nurtured, and supported, and healing happens immediately. Okay, that would be like the dream scenario, which I don't think ever happens for anyone for many reasons. But it's like you've shut your heart down to the degree that the healing that could be offered to you at times isn't getting in because you're trying not to feel, like you're trying so hard not to feel anything, including healing or nurturing energy from the outside. But we're ending this side of the reading here with the Six of Wands. It's like somehow you are being really successful in your life. Maybe this is work for you. This could even be relationships, but it's like, it's almost like you're in performance mode. Like you're just out here doing your thing and trying to avoid anything deeper that you're feeling on the inside. And so Spirit is seeing this, and I can almost hear like a dialogue up here. Like, I'm just going to take a beat. I'm going to read a book. Like, I'm not going to break my own heart over this. I'm not going to try to overwhelm pile 3. I'm not going to like work really hard in this relationship. We'll see what happens. This could go any number of ways, and I'm going to keep my head about it, and I'll be here when pile 3 is ready. So I almost get the sense of like, I have this image in my mind of like a waiting room, and like somebody, and this would be Spirit in this case, like sitting on a chair in the waiting room, like waiting to be called in, like waiting to be invited in to the appointment or whatever. I've actually got like a medical appointment waiting room in my mind. So again, like there's no judgment coming through here. And even, I'm not sure how this came through to you as I was describing on the bottom row here. I'm not even saying, and it's not even coming through as like, oh, you're not handling this in a healthy way. I'm not even actually getting that. I'm getting that you're coping the best way that you know how. At times that involves like sticking your fingers in your ears and saying, la 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 la, I'm not going to feel this. I'm not going to go there. And you're throwing yourself into your work or other projects, and it's temporary. Is it the number one doubly perfect way to cope with something? No, but there's no such thing. You're human. There's acceptance for that. There's grace for that, is what I'm getting about the dynamic here. And so in terms of like the dynamic between you, it feels like pause. And we have the Eight of Cups here. So maybe that's even, I mean, one example of this could be like a lot of anger at God or at Spirit for like, how could you do this to me, that I went through this terrible experience? So it's like you're leaving behind this relationship. And there's like understanding up here about that as being as like important for you right now. Okay, so what did I miss here, Spirit, about the dynamic between you and pile 3? Anything that you want to highlight? Ten of Pentacles. Whoa. Oh, that's like 8 cards. I'm gonna put those back, but we'll look at them here. It's a whole mix of things. What else is important for pile 3 to know? Two Wands. The Moon. Knight of Pentacles, yeah. So it's interesting. Spirit's not wanting to talk about you and them, okay? For this moment anyway. What they wanted to clarify about this reading, and this, I'm just going to deliver the message. I don't know why it's exactly important to you, but because it doesn't seem to be exactly about what we're talking about, we just go with it, you know? So pile 3, what Spirit's wanting to clarify is your family loves you. Your family loves you for you. Now this could take the word family as it applies to you. I'm drawn to the dog here. I mean, like your family could be your animals. Your family could be a partner. It could be your friends. It could be your literal family. It could be your children, but your family loves you, and not because of this. So somewhere, I think, in your mind, you believe that you are loved for this, for your success, for your achievements, for your shininess, for your ability to make things happen, for your talent of being completely broken inside, which I think at some point in the recent past you were, even if you're not right at this moment, and still being able to show up and deliver in a way that even maybe helps people connect to their own hearts. This is actually a great example of this that's coming to mind is my partner. So my partner actually, his best friend died a few weeks ago, which had been coming for a while. He'd been ill for many years with terminal illness. But even so, I mean, when someone actually passes, it's not like you're prepared for grief and what happens. And my partner actually was asked to give the eulogy at his funeral. And it's sometimes watching him public speak is just like totally magical. I don't know where it comes from, the way that he's able to put words together that just, I don't have the words for it, but he did that. He showed up. He actually was in Ukraine the day he got the news, and so he had to travel something like 62 hours straight to be able to make it to this funeral, to be able to deliver this eulogy. And it was stunning. And it was crazy afterwards. People were coming up to him like he was this celebrity, for this speech that he gave, which is just not my experience of someone, speaking at a funeral. It's like, I don't know, like you half listen, you might hear one or two interesting tidbits that help you feel connected to that person, but they're mostly forgettable, Anyway, he was able to do that while on no sleep, feeling completely shattered. And he showed up for others in a way that was like so supportive to his friend's widow, to the family, to everybody. But in hearing him talk about that later, he's like, yeah, but I wasn't there. I didn't experience that funeral. There was nothing that was happening in me in those moments because I was showing up to perform. So I tell that long story to give you just the example of what people don't love you for. So like my partner, it'd be very easy, I think, for him to believe like people love this Alex that shows up, that does this and this. And no, actually, your family, the people that are actually in your heart, they love you for you, not what you can do. And everyone's concerned about you actually going through this because they see that it's been such a big deal. The next card with the Two of Wands is kind of like an advice card. It's about it's saying like there will be a time for you to dream again. Like it's okay to plan that vacation. It's okay to have some escapism right now. Like to a certain degree, that's healthy and positive. And all these feelings, all this grief, it will be there when it's time. It's okay to go slow with the Knight of Pentacles. Like you don't have to, you don't have to dig into this. It's absolutely okay exactly where you are. And as spirit, like I will be here. I will be here when you're ready. You don't have to include me right now. And your family loves you. I just want to come back to that. They love you no matter what you do. No matter how shiny you are, no matter what state you're in, you are loved. Okay, any message for pile 3 from you, Spirit, that you want to send beyond what we've already seen here? Message from you, Spirit. Seven of Pentacles on the back. The Chariot, it may not feel like it. I'm sure it doesn't feel like it, but you're going through this hard time as fast as you possibly can, actually, which is funny because we had the Knight of Pentacles before about going slow. But, you know, sometimes going slow is going fast. You know what I mean? Page of Wands in reverse. It's okay to be impulsive. It's okay to feel childish. It's okay to just do whatever you feel, however you feel in the moment for right now. Like, you're healing. You're in a very tender time. Like, be gentle with yourself. And Ten of Cups. And we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups for you. Like, for me, I'm getting this. I mean, this is the message directly from Spirit to you, right? Spirit's saying, like, you and I are good. Like, everything's fine. I will be here when you're ready. This is not a relationship that requires maintenance. I love you. Take your time. Do what you need to do. And maybe even like come back to this video, come back to this reading when you have more space. But in the meantime, like I'm holding space for your healing. I'm here for you. And you're doing absolutely everything that you can right now. Okay, pile 3, this was your reading. Really interesting. Let me know what you thought. If you want to like the video, if you want to comment and share what resonated, or even if it didn't. I always love hearing your comments. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hey, pile 4, welcome to your reading. We're asking about the relationship between you and Spirit. What do they want you to know right now? How do they see you and them in the space between you? Such an interesting reading so far. 3 totally different vibes. So we'll see what we have for you. So first, Spirit, for pile 4, how do you see yourself in this dynamic? We have King of Wands in the reverse, the World, Magician in the reverse. Excuse me, I still got this like voice thing. Excuse me. From like, I was sick like 3 weeks ago. Like, come on. 4 of Cups. The Hermit in reverse. Okay, so I'm getting something a little weird here. I'm getting that Spirit's wanting me to talk about how they think you see them. So we're actually, for your reading, we're gonna have 3 lines. Up here is how Spirit thinks that you see them, how Spirit actually is, and then how you are. Okay, I'm glad that I have the smallest deck for this, so I can do 3 lines. Okay. So the top line is how Spirit thinks that you see them. And now, so Spirit, how do you see you in this relationship? Page of Pentacles, the Hangman. 8 of Pentacles. Two of Swords in the reverse. And Justice in the reverse. Okay. And how do you see pile 4 in this relationship? Emperor in reverse. Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, I'm really getting that, the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, 6 of Pentacles in the back. So the whole theme of this reading is, and this is not coming through judgy, but it's like Spirit's saying, like, I don't think you're getting me. I think you have some pretty strong opinions about who I am, how I want to show up for you, how it works to be in relationship with me. And they're all just a little bit off, and not any big deal, but we just need to get to know each other a little bit better. And for you, in particular for you, pile 4, maybe it's almost coming through as if like you had some ideas about God or your connection to spirit that you developed, like maybe even developed your value system around God, like let's say 10 years ago or in childhood, and some things just haven't been updated. Let's talk about the contrast between how spirit says that you see them versus how they see them. So King of Wands in reverse, the World, Magician in reverse, Four of Cups, and the Hermit in reverse. This is like a critical, manipulative, dissatisfied dictator. It's like, these are my rules. Do them or don't. But I will punish you. I will cut you. I will, this is like the vengeful, punishing deity. I'm almost getting from like Greek mythology or something, you know. The gods that must be appeased. You must make sacrifices. You must, whatever. Do what you can. Do what you must to appease their anger for a short time until it happens again. And I am God. I have everything. And occasionally I'll bestow some good gifts on you, but don't get used to it and make sure you keep performing kind of vibe. This is not a nice vibe up here. How spirit's actually seeing themselves is as trying to figure out how to make things work with you. It's interesting, like the way that this is coming through the center line, it really does remind me of a relationship reading. It's like, how can I make things work with pile 4? How can I meet them where they're at? How can I prioritize this relationship and work on it so that we're both happy? With the Two of Swords in reverse and the Justice in reverse, it's like, I don't want to be defensive about the fact that I'm not being seen rightly. Like, it's not the point, actually. I don't need to protest and be like, pile 4, you're not seeing me right, even though it's coming through in this reading. But again, it's not like, this is not a punishing energy. It's just like, hey, I'd like to present some alternate information for you to consider. Maybe I'm not vengeful. And then we have you down here. I mean, the center of your reading, the Wheel of Fortune and 10 of Pentacles, like you're killing it, pile 4. I don't know how abundant you feel at this moment, but Spirit's saying, like, look at your life. If I was vengeful, if I was trying to punish you, why would we be connected and you have all this wonderful abundance in your life? Like the money, the happy family, however you define family, the emotional and spiritual balance. Like, I'm not taking that away from you. In some ways, I even like to think of myself as having contributed to that for you. With the Eight of Cups in the reverse and the Ace of Swords, it's like Spirit is seeing, this is how Spirit's seeing you, right? Spirit's seeing you as almost like wanting to leave them behind, but not quite able to do that because like there's something like catching in your spirit that's like feeling not quite right. It's like, you know, you want nothing to do with this top row person. Nothing to do with them. And who would, by the way? That's terrible. I mean, I wouldn't want to have any kind of spiritual practice or relationship either. And so it's like you're trying to be very logical with the Queen of Swords, with the Emperor in reverse. It's like, I'm in charge here. Like, it's my life and I don't have to do anything in particular because God or a church or somebody says that I have to. Like, I don't want that. And Spirit's saying, yeah, like, fine, good. I'm not trying to change that for you. I just want to shower more abundance on you. And I'm drawn to all the pentacles here. This has not been the case in any of the other 4 readings either, by the way. We have 10 of Pentacles, 8, Page, 6. It's like Spirit just wants to give you, they want to give you more. And they're trying to figure out the ways to do that. It's almost like, and here's, I'm almost getting like this impish or like, maybe you could even say selfish energy here for Spirit. It's like, how do I give them a present where they know it's from me? How do I show them something where they don't confuse it for anything else other than like, God has gifted me this? And so Spirit's like really trying to figure that out so that hopefully this perception you have can heal. So I just want to ask Spirit, like, what am I missing here from this part of the reading that you want to bring forward? Anything else about this? We have 2 cups in the reverse, 7 of cups, 9 of cups, 7 of swords. Oh, what a beautiful message. And I don't know if you saw it when I picked up the 6 of pentacles. The 2 of cups in the reverse was just underneath that. I didn't take it because I was like, oh, it'll come out if it's important. And here it is. There is not harmony between you right now. And Spirit's saying, like, it's okay. Like, this doesn't have to look any kind of way. 7 of cups, like, we have every option on the planet. Do you want to be like a nun and connect to me that way? Great. Do you want to see me as a fire-breathing dragon and you're the knight who's slaying me? Okay, we could figure that out. Do you want to have a castle on the hill that's protected by me and like I am your guardian saint or spirit? We can talk about that. There's so much creativity coming through with this. It's like, if you think about it in terms of a person, or, okay, I'm getting like romantic relationship just as an example here, okay? It's like, if you want to be friends, I'm good with that. You want to be friends with benefits? I'm here for it. You want to get married? Awesome. You want to have me be like one of your people on the regular? I'm cool. Like, however this is going to feel good for you, as long as there's harmony in the relationship, I can be on the same page. Tell me your dream of what a connection to Spirit could be for you, and I will be that dream for you. And it's not going to be fake with the 7 of swords in reverse. Like, I will authentically be that way for you. And actually, I would not have been able to personally articulate this, but I really believe this about Spirit, about God, my relationship with God anyway, just to talk about that for a second. I see Spirit as infinitely creative. It's part of one of the reasons I love tarot. It's one of the many ways that Spirit can connect to us. And it's like Spirit's doing the work of that. Like, oh, you want me to talk to you through a bunch of like colored cards in a deck and there's hundreds of different decks you can use? Sure, I can do that. I can find a way to hang out with you that way. I just think that's amazing. Oh, you want me to show up as like super organized and structured and authoritarian and like this, punishing dad? I mean, we can do that for a while. We can figure out, what value you might need from that. I just think that this is the main thing that Spirit's wanting to, like, let's say correct, quote unquote, about your view of them. You are not meant to adjust to God or to Spirit. Spirit wants to adjust to you. They want to come to your level, your playing field, what you want for your life and be a part of it. And like, that's it. And that's what will create the harmony. Like, just let me be a part of it and let's co-create together. How cool. Okay, let's close your reading with any message that Spirit wants to give you. We already got a little bit of that, but any Spirit you have, oh my God, of course, for pile 4. I mean, if you've been in other tarot readings, you know what the Ace of Cups means. Even if you don't, if you just look at the picture. Message for pile 4, please. Oh, so funny. So funny. Death in reverse at the bottom. Results are in pile 4. This is coming through like as a joke, like Spirit playing with you a little bit. Like, I've decided, and I love you. You're amazing. You're perfect. There's nothing wrong. Unconditionally, I accept you. I want to be with you. There's nothing that I'm looking at and saying is wrong with you, pile 4. I just want to be in your life. I don't want to chain you. I don't want to hold you down. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to cause trauma or just, I want nothing bad for you whatsoever. I just want to love you. Let me love you. And that is never going to change. What a reading. Thank you for being here, Pile 4. Please let me know what you thought. Like the video if you liked it. Comments, let me know what your experience was, if you resonated with this message or not. I'm curious to hear that also. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.